Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we're going to be setting up our sinking funds and storing funds for the month of September. So I already have my sheets here that we're going to be using for these spreads. So I already have my September budget set up and my weekly balance set up. So we're going to go ahead and just do our sinking funds and storing funds. So for the storing funds, I always put that on the page right after our weekly balance spread here. I'm going to use over this leftover washi that we didn't use. I think next month I'm going to add our pups medical category to our storing funds because we don't really touch it that often, like at all. Hopefully never. But I think that's what we're going to do because I can see that one accumulating and I don't want all the money to just be in our sinking funds. So the reason why I split up my sinking funds to in here, because I consider these funds like storing them for long term. It's easier for me to see the more important, I guess you could say, sinking funds versus the ones that we can just clear out for if we need to for whatever emergency happens. So the ones in here are going to be ones that are like bills or sinking funds that I can't really neglect because we will need the money one way or the other. Or in general, it's just for items that we're saving up for. That's going to be a really long time thing. Like for example, Christmas is once a year. So I like to put that in our storing funds so we can slowly save up for it. I'm still debating on whether or not to put this in our Ally Bank account just so it can start incurring interest. I'm not sure, but we'll see because I still haven't decided yet. So for our funds, okay, so I went ahead and wrote down those categories. I'm just going to close it off with the rest of the washi here. And then as you guys can see, some of the categories here, they're not really important ones like the car insurance one is or the sewer and water is, but they are super long-term ones like for vacation, for Christmas, for our home fence, because we do want to get a fence but have no idea when that's going to happen. So that's kind of why I separate them out, because these are the ones that are more longer term and I don't ever want to have to empty these ones out. If we ever come across an emergency where we 100% need to empty out one of our categories here, the sinking funds are going to be the first ones to go because I can always just rebuild that and I don't have to worry about missing our car insurance or sewer and water or not having any money for Christmas, because I feel like I would feel so bad if that were to happen. So that is going to be our transaction log set up here too. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this last piece of washi at the bottom because that's what I've been doing. And if you guys hear the rain behind me, I am sorry. We have a flood warning going on and that rain is just knocking on our door right now. Okay, so I put the lines down. They're a little crooked, but that's fine. So this is our transaction log down here, and then we have our storing funds up here. So to start with, we have currently $2,000 in our Sandy's loan account. We are going to be transferring over this amount into her account this month, so this will end up getting emptied out. For car insurance, we have $759 on here. For vacation, we have $500. And then for Christmas, we have $394. For gym equipment, we have $121. For sewer water, we have $182 in here. And then for our home fence, we have $320. All of these added up equals to $4,276 for our sinking funds. It's so nice to see this, but unfortunately a lot of these are going to end up leaving in the next couple of months. I think sewer or water, one of them is going to be due this month. So I do want to add a bit more to this. So I'm probably going to go ahead and add $120 just because I'm still trying to get used to the amount here. And then for Sandy's loan, every month we always just add $200 to this category. For car insurance, luckily for us, we sold our other car because there was just problems with it and we just didn't want to deal with it anymore because it was starting to get expensive. But we sold our other car, which means our car insurance is going to be a lot less when it's due in October. And we've already reached the amount. I think it's like $450 or something. So we don't need to add anything for car insurance. So for this month, I'm not adding anything. For vacation, I'm going to just add $50. For home fence, I'm going to add $30. And then for gym equipment, I'm going to just add like $25 for now. I'm not really focusing on gym equipment, but I do want to add more for Christmas though. Honestly, I think I'm going to do our sinking funds first and then see how much I have left over to see if I can add a bigger chunk for a Christmas category. So let's go ahead and move on to that one first. Our sinking funds we're going to set up on the next page here. So I'm going to use this roses one. And I love this roses print. Okie dokie, and then this is the sinking funds script up here. And then let me go ahead and put these down. So for our fund, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and write down all of our categories for our sinking funds and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all of those categories down. I'm just gonna close this out real quick. I feel like I've been talking for a million years, but I do know that's because I'm recording all the videos back to back. Okay, let me put this last washi down just to finish off this spread, and then I'm gonna put the lines in, and then we can fill out the amounts together. So for car maintenance, we have $129 in there. I'm only going to add like $20 because we don't see anything coming up in the near future, and it's also nice to know that we only have one car to take care of. For gifts and treating, we have $45 in here. I'm gonna go ahead and add $50 in here too. For our household, we have $112, which is very nice. I'm gonna add 20 bucks to this. For medical, we have $63. I'm going to add $20 in here as well. For dates, we have $43 in here. I'm going to add $60 in here just because I want to go on a nice date this month, because all of our dates are usually kind of like, it's just because we want to go eat somewhere and we take it out of the date category. And then for home, we only have $8 in here. So I do want to add more to this too, so I'll probably add like $50. The difference between household and home for us is, for household, this is kind of just like detergent, or if we need more shampoo, conditioner, sponges, like any household items that we'll need. For a home, this is more so for items like if we want to get a piece of furniture, we want to get new plates. That's how I register them differently. You definitely don't have to do the same categories that I have, but that's kind of what the difference is between the two. And then for our allowances, my allowance, I have $152 in here, and my husband, he has $106 in here. For both our categories, I'm going to add $50. And then for clothing, we have $151 in here. I'm also going to add $50 in here as well, just because I think we want to go on a small little shopping spree. And then for Pups food, we have $180 in here. I'm going to add $25. We're going to be buying a whole bunch of food in bulk this month, so that's going to be a lot less by the end of the month. For Pups Medical, we have $218 in here. I'm going to add $30. I'm still debating on whether or not to put this in storing funds, but we'll see. And then for Pups Miscellaneous, we have $100 in here. I'm just going to keep it at $100. For Costco, we have $106. I'm going to add $30 for Costco. And then for Easy Pass, we have $75 in here. We went to Philadelphia last week, so I have a feeling that Easy Pass is going to charge us, but I think I'm still going to just leave it alone. When they charge us next month, I'll add more, but for right now, I'm going to leave it at $75. For entertainment, we have $97 in here. When we used to rent movies, we used to get it out of our entertainment category, or anything else that's kind of like miscellaneous type of thing, I guess you could say. We have $97. I'm going to add $20 into here. For office, we have $56. I'm gonna go ahead and add $50, even though I think that's a bit much, but it's fine. For beauty, we are at $101. There's a couple things that I want to repurchase, so I think I'm going to add $30 in here for now. And then unbudgeted, we're at $480. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add $30 in here as well. So for the starting amount of this category, we're at $2,222. And then we're going to be adding this amount here. I'm going to go ahead and calculate it. So we're going to be adding $585 into our sinking funds, which is very nice. I used to add so much more than what I feel like it is now, but I'm just really happy that I'm at the point where my sinking funds, they're just fluctuating around the amounts that I'm comfortable with. So that feels really good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this last washi down here for a transaction log. And then we can finish this one off. I do want to put these amounts into our weekly balance, just so they're logged in there. I guess just put these little one here, and then we can put another one over here. I'll just put it right here. Actually, okay, I like that better. So I'm just gonna leave those there for now. And then I have these extra flags. I usually end up using these flags for our weekly check-in. I just put the flags there. And then I'm gonna put this last bit of washi at the bottom here, just to close it off. I'm gonna put it a little bit higher. And then I'm going to put the lines in and I'll be right back. Okay, so the lines are now done. So which means our transaction log is good to go here. And then this is our sinking funds. And then we have our storing funds set up over here. So let's go ahead and finish calculating out the Christmas one. So we have $54.75 as our budgeted amount, minus $3,200 for bills, minus $1,000 for a monthly budget. That is going to leave us with $1,275. And that is going to be for us to use for sinking funds or storing funds or whatever it is. We know for sinking funds, we've added $585. So let's go ahead and put that over here. So for sinking funds, we added $585. So the $1,275 minus the $585, that is going to be $690 left over. So let's calculate the storing funds. So far, we've already added $250, $25, $120, and $30. We're able to add $265 into our Christmas category, but the total here now that we're adding into our storing funds is $690. That's with all of these added up together. So let's go ahead and write that down over here. So for storing funds, we're putting $690, and then we're not going to be able to put anything into our Ally bank account or into our savings, which is fine. I do know our savings account right now is at $700. I do want to get it back up to $1,000, but that's okay. We'll just add to it next month instead. So now everything calculated out should equal the $54.75, $3,200 for bills plus $1,000 for a monthly budget, plus $585 for sinking funds, and then $690 for our storing funds. That equals $54.75, which is perfect. So we are completely zeroed out. All the money we're budgeting for is going somewhere. And then remember, for the actual amount, whatever we and remember, for the actual amount, I already know what we really got paid for, but whatever actual amount here, that is what I'm going to just go ahead and put into our emergency savings. That's at Ally Bank. And then both of these amounts added up together, that equals $1,275. So we are all finished up for our September budget. So we have all of our sinking funds, storing funds, all of that is good. What's left is just the normal weekly check-in. So now that we have those amounts, let's go ahead and finish writing them into our weekly balance. So for the weekly balance for storing funds, we're going to be starting off with $42.76 plus $690. That is $4,966. So that's what we're starting off with storing funds. And then for sinking funds, we're going to be starting off with $2,222 plus $585. That is $2,807. So that is the total amount that we're starting off with for our sinking funds and storing funds. And then let's go ahead and add all of these together so we know how much is supposed to be in our one checking account. So in total, in this account, we should have $11,973. In our second checking account, the one that's holding those categories for bills, monthly budget, sinking funds, storing funds, this checking account only holds the money for those 4 categories. So that checking account should have this balance up here. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you guys found it helpful, and thank you guys so much for joining me today. Take care and see you guys next time. Bye.